Hey Internet, it has been a while since we've done this whole face-to-face type thing. I mean, it hasn't been. I don't think that anyone's really missed it. But here I am on my own channel. You can't stop me. What I thought I'd do is make a video about some of the free tools that are very useful to me as a YouTuber, or were at some point before being replaced by better either paid for tools or just tools that require certain types of hardware. So I thought what we might just do is just jump into it straight away. So going in alphabetical order is a handy program that I'm using right now called Audacity. What Audacity does is that it is a standalone recording program. It's not really linked to anything, meaning that you can then record your vocal audio in a separate track to whatever you're doing. So if you are using a camera and you have a nice USB condenser mic, or you just have a microphone that's better than your phone, you can get Audacity going, get your phone camera going, or your regular camera going, and then do a little bit of a clap, just to sync it up. Let's do a couple of different claps just for humorous purposes. And then what'll happen is your phone audio or camera audio, I use my phone because it's a really good camera, good enough camera, I suppose. Some would say, someone would be like, oh, well actually it can't do 4K. So, well, yeah, who uploads in 4K? No one in Australia. So yeah, no, it's really good for fixing audio. You can sort of do separate levels. If you're the problem with a lot of programs, if you're recording game audio and mic audio at the same time, is that it'll blend them. They'll blend them together and you won't be able to change the levels later. And sometimes, this might surprise you, but I get a little loud or I get a little quiet. And I can also run that through a compressor and then sort of stop things from exploding, which is always nice, especially when I play Overwatch, because I do yell a lot when I play Overwatch. The next program we're gonna take a little look at is GIMP. And so no, we're not talking about the insult. We're not talking about that guy with the leather mask type thing in Pulp Fiction, I think it was. GIMP is basically Photoshop but free, which really should be their tagline, but I feel like that infringes on some trademarks or something. So yeah, whatever. I'm a game developer, not a lawyer. So what GIMP is essentially everything you can do in Photoshop, you can basically do in GIMP. When it comes to things like the preset filters or the special effects that Photoshop offers, you don't have as much kind of flexibility, or the presets aren't as high quality. But when it comes to tools like the drawing tools, layering, transparency, putting faces on other people's bodies, it's pretty good at that. So yeah, I mean, I use it still, because screw paying for Photoshop. Yeah. So the next program, which is going to be especially useful for us Aussies, is called Handbrake. And what Handbrake does is it reduces the file size of a video file by changing codec with minimum quality loss. Like, there's always going to be a bit of a balance. Because if you're like, oh yes, I'd like to change this 1 GB file into 2 meg, you can do that and it'll look like crap. But what I typically will do is take a 1 GB file and change it to like 700 meg, which is a deduction of like 30-ish%, I want to say. So yeah, it's pretty good. Is what I'm saying. It's pretty good. I use it fairly often, except for when I don't have time, because it's kind of like rendering twice. So if you don't have time to render a second time because your computer either is slow or once it's rendered, all the hard work's kind of done. But you are basically rendering twice. So just keep that in mind, that it will take a little while, and if your computer has like heat problems, maybe avoid it. But then again, if your computer has heat problems, probably address those before your house burns down. So the next program we're going to talk about is a free editor. Now, all computers, unless you're running some weird Linux thing, will come with a free editor. Windows has Windows Movie Maker. macOS has iMovie. Now, both of them are pretty good. I think iMovie is probably a bit better equipped than Movie Maker. It's been a long time since I've used Movie Maker. If I recall correctly, you couldn't do layering, which is a big deal. Whereas the next program, which annoyingly I can't just stick in this in the I'm going to put like a zip file in a zip file link in the description if you want to download everything at once. But I can't do that here because you do need to sign up for an account to use this. This program is called HitFilm, and I have it on the good authority of other Australian YouTubers that I've talked to about these programs. And they say, oh yes, I use HitFilm, you know, it works alright, I use the free version, I haven't really seen any limitations. Annoyingly, it's taking forever to download, so I might not actually get to give it a go. But that is a option that is being at least sort of half verified. You know, I've sort of looked into it. It doesn't look like it really has, like, it looks like the limitations you have are like plugin based. But yeah, I mean, people tend to like it. That's the least sure I am of any program in this list. Love it! So, if you're going to be a YouTube gamer, you're going to need some form of screen capture. If you're console based, I can't help you with that. There's no free way to record a console unless I guess the PlayStation Share thing I've had no experience with because I don't use a PlayStation 4. I don't know if Xbone has anything of the sort. But for PC, there are a few programs you can use. In terms of free ones, there's not a lot that will leave you without a watermark. You know, Bandicam has a big thing at the top saying, oh, bandicam.com. Fraps has basically the same thing, if I recall correctly. Now, depending on your graphics card, you might be able to use Shadowplay, which is a NVIDIA-based thing. So if you've got an NVIDIA graphics card and it's newer than if it's better than a 750, I think, from memory, then you can use it. I run a 1060 in my build, so that, you know, that runs it. I got a couple of friends with 1050 Ti's, they can run it. So look into your graphics card. If you have an AMD card like I used to before it basically killed itself with fire, it didn't actually catch fire, but it just sort of died. You can use a program called Plays TV, which is basically the same thing. They're super lightweight because they're optimized for the card they're running on. So it's, you know, some will argue that, you know, oh, Shadowplay isn't lossless, but like, I mean, lossless versus like the amount of power Fraps uses. But yeah, anyway, the program that is gonna be here is OBS, which I actually used to use before I had a decent graphics card. And many people will use OBS. It can also be used to stream, so if you are interested in Twitch streaming and you somehow have good enough internet, I guess if you live in an area that's got the NBN, or you're with Optus cable maybe, or if your ADSL2 Plus actually delivers the speeds you're paying for, which we don't get out here. Out here, I say, I live very close to the city, but for whatever reason our infrastructure is garbage. Anyway, so if you want to stream, you can use it to stream. My advice would be that when you use OBS, turn the microphone off and then record with Audacity, because you don't want to have to faff around with volume stuff. You know, what if someone sneezes in the background, you know, if you're not living by yourself? What if there's some noise, you know, a police car drives past at a point where you're not talking? Actually, that could add to the content. You could be like, oh geez, there's a police car outside my house, blah, 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 blah. Maybe I'm being swatted while I'm YouTubing. But anyway, basically it's good. It's good. I used to use it. You can change a lot of settings to try and optimize it, you know, depending on, again, it's all hardware dependent. If you have the option of using Plays TV or Shadowplay, use those instead, because OBS is good, but it's not amazing. That being said, I haven't tried it in a while. I'll have to give it a test. The last program on the list is a program that's actually made by a fellow YouTuber. I say fellow, he's significantly more popular than I am, and I don't think we've ever talked. I've thanked him in his comment sections for his program because it's so useful. Basically, it's from a user called Dragonite Spam, and I wholeheartedly encourage you to go and check out his channel, particularly if you're into programming using GameMaker, because he's got a lot of tutorials on that. So this program, what it does is you put in an image, you then stick, so you got the image in, you can then put like a thing with a number in it, so you can say part 1, or just have like the number 1 in a corner, and then what you can do is create a range between 1 and hypothetically unlimited, depending on hard drive space. I haven't actually tested how many thumbnails you can make, but it's really quick, and you just go boop 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 boop, make me like 18 of this series thumbnail, and then you're good. Thumbnails look really good, just generally, like, just have thumbnails, always make thumbnails, even if it's just like, you Google the game and it's the first thing to come up, provided you're not like infringing on someone's fair use or whatever. Generally public promotional images, logos, they should be okay as long as it's understood that you were playing the game, that you didn't make the game. Because legal stuff is now something we have to worry about on YouTube. Yeah, so those are what, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 programs that I recommend. 4 of them will be in the zip file. 1 of them will not be. 1 of them's still downloading. I don't know why my internet is so bad. I don't get it. Why is this thing taking forever to download? I'm not even running. None of my cloud things are synchronizing. Nothing's downloading. Who knows? But anyway, that's been me. I hope this video has been helpful. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything. If there's a program where you're like, I absolutely use this one and it's good, then tell me. If you're like, actually that one's a virus, well, I don't think they are. Just interestingly, Google Chrome doesn't seem to like Audacity's website, so be careful on that one. The one in the zip file is the one I use, and my antivirus says it's fine, so I don't know. Yeah. Oh, before someone asks about my shirt, it's because I just saw it and thought you're gonna get the We Can Do It, and you're gonna be like, oh, but it's actually Samus. It's Samus doing the We Can Do It thing, which is kind of cool, because female protagonists are alright. They can do it. We need more female protagonists. We just don't need, like, make the characters good. Don't just be like, oh yes, here is character who is going to be weak and emotional because gender. Just make them cool. I mean, you can make them weak and emotional, but make it weak and emotional because they're pastoring. This is not the time for that lecture. Maybe I'll save it for a podcast if I ever am on a game developer podcast. If I ever finish this project. Anyways, that's been me. I have a series that's either on the way out or is out by this point. It's more Fallout, because I can play Fallout. But this is like DLC, so that's cool. Anyway, I need to edit this, so I should actually stop faffing around smiling at a camera, and looking slightly to the your left? My right, your left. At my own beautiful face in the screen. Anyway, well, I think the lights have done it for me.